I do want to move on to another fight that we also got, and we touched on it just before, and that is Mauricio Lara versus Leigh Wood 2. I'm going to say this, and I want to put this out there. Is Lara underappreciated in the last few fights that he's had? And I say this because I remember when he fought Josh Warrington, he beat him, and the reaction was, this was like the biggest surprise we've seen. Went into the second fight, and the way that ended is obviously the way it did in the second round. So there was no decision there. Then here comes back, wins the world title, and I feel like now going into this particular fight is the first time in a while that he's getting actual respect going into a particular fight as a favorite. And I just wanted your opinion on Lara himself.
This is going to be scary, and Lara has just been beaten up on UK fighters in this division, and I can't see it not going Lara's way. Honestly, I don't know what adjustments that Woods is going to make during this time period to outdo Lara. I'm rooting for him because I also wanted to see the big fight between him and Warrington, but I honestly don't know how he's going to get it done. But the silver lining for Leigh Wood is the fact that, if I'm correct, Mickey Conlan, who's fighting on the same night, is also getting a title shot. So if Wood loses, but Conlan wins the belt, they can run back that rematch.
Okay.
And it'll be, you could even call it, Wood's last chance to get that belt, to get a title shot again, shall I say.
I was going to say, you touched on it just then about being worried for him. Is the rematch too quick, too soon type of thing? Because we always talk about that immediateness to fight what you lost for. And it's not always the smartest move in boxing. I believe this is about 3 months out since the last fought in Nottingham. So, again, just on that, is that the smartest move to be doing right now?
I don't think so, only because of Leigh Wood's age. He's not a young boy. He can't afford to, especially the person who he's running it back with.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I don't know if it's a case of maybe he's thinking to himself, I haven't got time to be chasing another belt and come back for Lara. So maybe it's just a case of, do you know what? F it. This is my last hurrah. This is one of my last hurrahs. And like I said, if Mickey Conlan wins a belt, then, Wood is probably going to be thinking, if obviously you can't and you shouldn't doubt yourself during a fight, but at least there's that potential of, if Mickey Conlan wins, we can do that rematch, because there's story behind it. Conlan got knocked out. He'll be wanting that back in blood. And, that was fight of the year last year, potentially, arguably. So that is still there, but I don't blame him for running it back. But I don't know if, Wood has had too much mileage put on him. And Lara is he just enjoys being a British prospect. It's crazy.
It's funny because, he's become that name, beating off people that he shouldn't have actually beaten at that particular. Well, that's what
he wasn't brought in to be the guy to actually be a legitimate threat. He was brought in there to be
just another fight.
Yeah, him and Canelo are just beating up on British fighters.
So I was going to say that, has Eddie over at Dazn managed to find a star by accident, and what should you do to capitalize on him? Because it's tricky. Because I look at the
division. If Lara gets this win, and Eddie Hearn doing the big Canelo fights in Mexico, Eddie might just have another Mexican star in his hands, where he can go back to Mexico with the help of Canelo and be like, yo,
double up.
Yeah, not even double up. Sometimes you just need a cosign. Maybe, who knows, Canelo might just want to add on to that promotion, and Eddie Hearn might just say, Canelo, cool, let's work on it. You do your promotion. Obviously, it will be all on the Matchroom. Canelo, we need you out there to be the spokesperson for Lara. Go out there and promote this guy, and he can be the next big Mexican great hope. And it's a win-win.
I was going to say that just before we wrap up and stuff, if obviously Lara was to lose, do we run a trilogy? Because it feels like in this particular case, there's like a win-win, and also not a lose-lose type of situation, because you've got the excitement of that particular trilogy, and I feel like money-wise, it makes sense. But what I will say is this fight going to struggle to get attraction because of the paywall behind Dazn?
Nah. Dazn, the way I see Dazn, the whole paywall thing is just like how you pay for any other subscription service at this point. What I will say though is if Lara loses, there ain't gonna be a rematch, because Lara is one of those fighters. I liken him to Justin Gaethje, where you don't like to fight these guys because win or lose, you're gonna leave a chunk of yourself in there. Like you could beat, these are one of those guys that you can beat, and you know that you're gonna have to go for a war
Yeah.
to wrestle it off them. And sometimes it's just like, if you're Wood, you probably think to yourself, if I manage to get the win, I'm not putting myself in a war again unless I have to. And I think that's where it is with Lara. So he's also, he learned from the Warrington situation. Warrington didn't even beat him back. Warrington got no contest, and Warrington didn't want to run it back. So I think Lara's smart enough to realize, if I beat them, no, if I fight them again, I have to beat them, because they will not give me, they will not run it back if he loses.
So just on that then, before we wrap up, I kind of know where you're going with this fight, and it is a bit of the obvious choice for once in terms of the prediction. But how do you see this fight ending?
I can't see how Lara loses. I can't see the adjustment that Woods is gonna make to win this. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying I don't know. I don't know enough about him to know, can he make those adjustments? Can he go into camp and then scare Lara? And with Lara, it's like he keeps on improving every single fight, and he's got age on his side as well.
I was just gonna say, every time you see Lara, considering how we said that he was brought in terms of being an opponent and stuff, to where he's come, you can genuinely see this guy's had that one fight where he beat Warrington, put his name on the map, and then continue to excel. And that's probably sometimes where you see certain other fighters who get that one marquee victory and then just fall off because they've been able to get that one win on their record. Whereas he's obviously clearly extended. But I'm with you. I do see Lara winning, and I think I'm going to go the same route where it'll be like a 7 or 8 round knockout, and it will be one of them brutal ones where it's like that one shot, and it's like, okay, we see the ending coming up here. But with that, we are going to wrap today's.
All right, we'll look out for that.
We'll look out for it. But yeah, we are going to wrap up today's episode. As always, if you enjoyed the content, like, share, subscribe. The road to 2K is available. It's on the way, sorry. And as always, Ray, quick final words.
People, stay weighed in.